How many nights in cheap hotels, how many nights on floors in sprung cities, how many rough mornings on platforms nowhere, waiting for trains and luck. I woke with a dream in my head, almost as real for a moment, waking. So thinking back 30 years, and in seeking to portray those times as part 2 of the series begun with Mirror Man's sequences, I decided to newly perform sections of the Journal of Dreams I kept then. For if alphabets required to write of life are to be forged from memories of one, these memories of the inner world are about as relevant as the outer, especially during the 60s, for Christ's sake. Planes, limos, this gig, that gig, dope-a-go-go, and the recovery from it. It seems plain to me that we travellers through this veil of whatever it is, humour mostly, travel not only road by road, but also in other people's imaginations and in our own minds. Many songs I wrote back then were based in whole or part on these notes written down morning by morning, 1967 to 77, and resting my head night by night wherever fate had cast me, I'd close my eyes and resume the inner journey. There was no snow, only a throw of petals. Where to the knee I waded in white drifts, I heard birds calling softly, all was white curling waves. There was no flood, the sea was everywhere. The fish swam through the sky, fires in the snow that was not there, burned hotter than the cold. Where to the knee I waded in red flame, the sea was everywhere. Shells on the hillside, scatterings of drifted white. My whole wood of words laughing to greet the axe. My heart near a crack, my blood in that bite. Smoke of those fires billowed as white. Over the snows that were not there, all was swallowed by the sea. The sea was everywhere. Antarctica turned up upon its flanks. I heard the heartbeat of a fox, the breath of a fly. Below the snow that was not there, fish were flying through the sky. The sky was deep and everywhere. Antarctica rose up upon its knees, 3 fingers stretched, span my forehead temple to temple, which feathered stone was like a hermit's lamp. Carefully folding my wings, I stepped down on New Year's night into the pipe shop.
Good evening, winged madam. Not often we have a visitor from heaven.
Walk as a ragged man up the snowy dummy dikes in 1809, till I come where the 3 sleek debutantes like greyhounds lie in the snow. Carefully not to let the goats and ocelots through the first front door, and not to let the sheep through the second, I resume angelic form and mount the opium stairs. Up, up to the instead of roof, children's music practice, all for the new year.
Upon the festive dream bones and the melodious cans, their doodle ornaments upon the tiger's march. I want to be everything. I have told you everything.
Master Heathcliff beetles his brows and whispers into the megaphone. You golden insect, came in for a reply, I suppose. So taking the personality of my food, I travel down my gizzard chute to Malaya. No, it is not the well of causes. I seat myself at the low-lit bays, join the gamblers, make a mighty throw, not for the win, of course, but for the sake of the really pretty numbers.
On the way to the cathedral, we had to steal the beautiful rose quartz rose, the rose of the fountain, the rose white as a white rose in the heart of the square. Drenched with the blown spume of the plumes of the petals of the water, we aspire to the spire by the spiral stair. The church musicians are riffing in our room. Cat fiddle and the child precocious who plays timpani. The fire beast sparks up, mewing and puking red cymbals. The child stands forlorn in his Burberry raincoat. I have shot someone. I have. No one will believe him. Balancing tins of sins on his revolver, he begins to perform the last act of the well-known play by Sniveller. May his doubt fly away like a huge peeled tangerine. Let's drop all this talk of mine and yours and analyse what it was you really did wrong. You didn't bring the photos of the map of that imaginary holiday place. Trying to reach it, we're tearing down half the town. You didn't bring the football. You kicked the cat. The train had only one carriage and it was full. It was full. They took my watch, my photograph of you. They took a photo of me, smiling like a postcard. An angelic jailer drops an S. He has a tooth too few. I am sitting here in a room with no view as I write to you. Off to the seaside in the rain. Oh, how irritable, how agile. Travelling with the charwoman, wise as a bear, through the tears of the sky, to Steenhouse Town. Through the cobbled arch of the schoolhouse bar, blindfolded Bruce in the ring plays buff with Socrates and a gorilla. Gazpacho! Hatshaw! Yells a hairy Garfoon, striking the left ear of the befuddled king, and the whole Son Louis of the bleeding audience sings charm through the hockey. Tired but happy, we'll later get our jam jars full of the wicked little spider fish, and we go to fish for the great far-finned octopus. From our hotel window 5 flights up, there it heaves far below in the bay. Till suddenly up it comes in a magnetic whoosh, all lines snap to the huge fierce scream of it, and back goes its body to the deep, leaving only its king crab jeweled innards, lobstered grey from its maw, sitting like jealousy. On our unsuspecting floor.
I suffer from rodeo gigs, horrors, and New York community of down-and-out artist 1910 basement. Oh, what dog fanciers! And the ancient crone with wrinkled yes. In scene situate on lower level, evil man Dagomel in scummy swim pool discloses wicked plan. I trick him, prick him with Woolworth's dividers. This is heroin, mister. Your doleful days are numbered. Travelling the wilds of Hoboken by taxi. Pass a pile of huge teapots thrown away. Gardenias in gardenia cans, a giant field of carrageen moss. The taxi driver looks up at the sky. Oh, a petticoat storm. But if you were the president of Monsanto and had a brick thrown through your window, well... Charlie the taxi driver liked to sit in Charlie's place. He didn't own it, that's just what it was called. He liked his broiled sea bass there. He liked his pecan pie. He liked to drink cold drinks too fast till he got a pain in his upper jaw. He liked to puff cigars too hard till his nose got all dried up. But when he walked out of there, here's what bothered him. Every time the cross sign flashed to walk, there'd always be some smart Alec jump in front of him to cross. Charlie the taxi driver used to go buy his cold cuts from the deli. It was too cold inside the deli. The manager wore a blue wool suit. "Rasfallen, I tell you, Rasfallen," he screamed. "Mamma Maria, Rasfallen." The waitress, scurrying by with a plate of cantaloupe, also muttered, "Rasfallen, Rasfallen." Charlie the taxi driver wondered, is it Yiddish? Maybe they're saying, "That's allowed," something like that. The maitre d' and the water boy rushed crabwise through the kitchen spring door. "Rasfallen, Rasfallen." Charlie the taxi driver came out of Edinburgh long ago. Drove cabs in London before he came stateside, Far Rockaway. He ended up way south of that. Sometimes to think back on those names of pubs on that outer ring road north, the North Road out of London. 3 Horseshoes, the Golden Harp, the Crown, the Red Lion, the Green Dragon, the Feathers, the King's Head, the King's Arms, the Queen's Head, the Golden Ball, Saracen's Head, the Nag's Head, the Griffin, the Iron Horse,
the royal oak, the chequers, the bird in the hand, the cross keys, the wagon and horses, the boot and slipper, the eagle and crown, the eagle, the lamb and flag, the George and dragon, the George, the crooked billet, the plough, the pheasant, the Victoria, the plume of feathers, the Winston Churchill, the first and last, the huntsman, the ewe and lamb, the green man, the woodman, the golden lion, the woodpecker, halfway house, the Wellington, the Shannon and Chesapeake, the swan with two necks, the fox and goose, the bag of nails, the pure drop, and the druid. Charlie the taxi driver kept it brewing by forming his bald head, facing my face, into a talking face. It's so important to cough well, he said, growing younger. One man I knew killed the bull by coughing at it, he said, growing younger. Another, the chef, he could cough mixed meat, he said, growing younger. When he was very young, the taxi drove itself. Charlie the taxi driver knew a thing or two about roads altogether. Many roads are lied about as leading to Jerusalem, misleading directions like the Dutch gave the Germans. All roads from Rome don't go there, not to Jerusalem. Some go to Jericho, where walls tumble for Joshua. Some go to Calgary as well as Charing Cross. Some go to Childhood Islands. Republic, horse, hair, machine, every part rubs every part, white, round, egg. Turn again. Absent, without absinthe, before crack of 9, Froggy and Miss Mouse depart by leaf boat, where the billy cat cannot follow, where the clerical crane is busy at the ball. Over to the island. Paddle pulled by the pied pauper in the water. On a tussock there invite the glittering temple trinkets, censers and holy cutlery scribed with the Sephirah in the characters of heaven, set there as a thief trap still unsprung, with Goliath laid in waiting, half hid behind the night. Turn again. In a thicket, not the roebuck, but the nag of bones, caparisoned in nettles, with eyes like inkwells, and hooves like stones. And on the mountain, Gaskell winds his horn in an echoing knot of eye-shaped tears, like years or ears of corn. Turn again. Dick Whittington turns to look at a picture of a many-branched tree where bygone ages perch twig by twig. Turns again and is in the wood of voices by dark night, very annoyingly real. must find the tree of accepted ages amongst the others. After a long search, he finds it best by guesswork and lies. He dances round it, widdershins, with the torch of imagination. This would be admirable, but no one is watching. Finally bored, he steps out to cross the long path towards the village of the dawn. On that path, he bumped into but one, running in the other's sense. They do not speak. "Oh, my dearest," says Whittington, a combing of his fine hair. These are dreams. So here you'll get something said by the sea. So here you'll see a snippet of raw gold in the belly of a dog. Foxes or owls by day are out of element, as dreams are by the light of reason. But significance hangs in these tangles, not the kind to be cut and dried and comprehended, but the kind that hints at the unsayable, as music does. There is a region of the soul where Jack obtains the cup never empty, where poets obtain bankruptcy of caution. Here is the head of Bran, dark wings about the cauldron spread. Rhymeless coincidence in the hollow temple, where songs are born, where starlit sleeper, whose self is whose self anyway. Rose-hipped, hazel-shaded, berry-ripe glade of somewhere, slight sound of falling water, where by scallop shell sails in the queen of love, God-suckled heroes of no story at all, inhabit what measureless sailing in our human voyage. There is a hand in the astral, handsman, the cloak of darkness, the ring of power. Here is the wisdom of the world for the seeking. But the world of dreams is not the great other world, not Annwn, though one of Annwn's gates may open from here. The world of dreams is but a hodgepodge of memory scraps, the back brain talking to itself on automatic, reminding bits of other bits. Damned interesting for all that. And as Robert Graves once said,
"The finest entertainment known, and given a rag cheap."
Out with McClachlan, me and McClachlan, he's smoking a woodbine, we're trying to find Ossian's mother's house. But she's waiting in the summer house to avoid robbers making what? Loganberry jelly.
And what's in it? And what's in it?
Blood, blood, blood. But the Zen master has already corralled the robbers into a private discussion group of his own, and he says to them, "Your action reveals your basic poverty. You should be called a jump up." And he takes the robber's knife to carve Zen patterns on the robber's bag. And Ossian's mother says, "Cold is the word of the moon, your lucky number and your chance to run. Buy a stake in a floor of echoes to chill Judy's companionably into the burning Pimpernel. Call C-ho, call down the hatch into the bilges, out of the propeller shaft, softly down to the bottom of the ocean. Do you see whales or pearls? On the sand, some seaweed, so with surfers for a gas, but this fine air you have around here. No land. Oh, yes, there it is, the land of the tree-bellied, ear-smithy, impossible crows, slow croon call, low calls is nothing next to the next nobody. Call to the callers to call again. They said, write it down
give yourself a chance. Maybe in summer they will see sunbeams. Out of the rain's belly steps a smelly old cauliflower tied to a man's head. Exit Remus said, bleed back to front of all, where trumpets such as daffodil waltz. The solid backbone of Finkery stumbles around lostly. Will you make hay this frosty? We say, call again, call to the small tortilla. Scale, read a little wing, easy blackbird to green, gliding, piercing, testily green iron painted floor. Breathe, park of light on edge of dark paved street in Fuller Street. And if this plot does not continue, you'll be flying in a row with the desert underneath you like the carrion crow. The bullet does not slow up, you'll be mixing with the mud, with marshmallow brains and blood. Oh no! Skitty bit. Whoa! Skitty bit. Nightmare! Skitty bit. Oh no! Skitty bit.
Our noble team had run to earth, where worse, within the very walls of Snah Eer. Useless to argue the virtues of string in labyrinths or axes in long ships. Better to consider the wisdom of a night in the bowels of the earth, with nothing to chew but the wax of fossilized bees. Our worst fears were realized when we heard the band of music lice come creepy-crawly into view, and the marchers and mourners goggling along behind with eyes blinded, just plain closed. Bled butchers.
The Queen of Snah Eer has smelt us out,
And it was doom dinner. Forks were laid with knives so as to indicate the hour. It was forbidden in writing, inches tall to speak, without some self-denigrating gesture or nebbishy twitch. Squinting down my nose, I gave the Queen the greetings of Elizabeth of England, but she discovered what the punctuation of my teeth concealed. Tumbling, they rushed forthwith upon me, with Smarny, Smarny, Smurny, Smorny, Duchess of the Bew, creator of Pavanes. She woke from her enforced girlhood into full medieval ogress blood-lipped self. Staring with eyes like tacks, she discovered the little feathered thing that was my soul. This poor beakless wonder would be the natural target of a vampire. There are huge dictionaries on a vampire. Even those in Scots alone would fill a whole room. But what, said the Duchess, if I actually inhaled your soul, feathered memory by feathered memory? Oh, the barley hag, she is with us. Old familial astrological equipment, mountainously up inner hills, ball chain, mammoth padlock, sextant, very accurately define the question of the question. Odin, the horse dealer, spreads a fan. Racing carts hooved with hope
The crows on his shoulder croak of a paradise only the god can hear, carrying death up the scree. 9 steps up, 9 steps down, 9 nights in the windy tree. And the path led away up on a grey moor, rainy as the moss could wish. One rock stood out like a soldier in a sleeping harem, or like a gallows on a hill. Upon the spurious perch there hunched one scrawny old eagle. I give you good greeting. The eagle looked over his ragged grey shoulder, and he pointed with his left wing till I could see. A row of dirty urchins wet to the skin, and they throw in pebbles at the eagle. The uninformed will be presently shamed and abstain from criticism, said the rock. Well, just a young lamb now and then, said the eagle. He pointed with his right wing till I could see a row of crop-haired convicts dancing in their leg irons. Some gentleness of the earth will presently vibrate through their extended beings, said the rain. The convicts were juggling little blue fires, and they were calling, revive, revive. Of course, this is not excessive, said the eagle, considering the weight of your case. I could feel the rope around my neck. My feet were on the gallows tree. Hector, protector, was sent back again, sang the urchins. I was hanging, and the convicts sang, revive, revive, and I revived. Not remarkable, said the eagle. I could feel the rope around my neck. My feet were on the gallows tree. Is thought nothing then but a portion of the past, said the rock. I was hanging while the convicts sang. I died, but it was a lie. Reflected in the water, I could see my own face. My profile was the outline of the shores of Britain. People stood lamenting on the lake shores of my eyes. There was ploughing in my cheeks, as if it would end all spring. Lies were being spoken. Men sought to bribe the falling sword. Near to my mountain nose, my mother stood, praying to the thunder, feeding the sparrows from the caves of her ears. A sickness fell on me and my strength went from me. My body lay untouched 1,000 years, till it was taken stone by stone, stone by stone, to build round towers. The storm, it blazed with lightning and it thundered. The lightning struck against the half-built towers, discrowning them. My fall, of course, was in their fall, falling in their falling stones, and the legions fell like hawks on the tattered land. I was wounding in their brazen blades, turning like seasons in their chariot wheels. A ram was bleating, the wheels were rolling on my own body. The ram's horn trumpet was blowing, and rivers of my own blood. The wheels were rolling on bridges of my own bones. I was blowing in the air like smoke, or like a breath of wind in the face of the
Total nothingness of unknowing. Deep sleep. Like death, is it? Deep sleep. No sign, no marker, no hero's grave, no king's wars, no murder in the ink of law. First feeling is kindred hurt, ancestor sorrow in the chambered mountain of the soul. Ah, 'tis truer to say. It is love herself composes the 100,000 songs between the night sky and the human skull.
Welsh Pavanes resound to Odin's man here. Sir Thomas Heaver, dealer in the famous deck of cars, racing cards hooved with hope, as diners in the greasy spoon, tight-lipped believers, singing to the juice, the ace and juice, singing to attack the one-eyed jack, seeking to divine the front from the back of his world-pervasive manuscript. You see, he had married the medicine woman. God knows he was sick enough to start with. Great puddles of lethargy waiting in his eyes. She put paid to that. She could spot troves of treasure in the smallest mote. She knew the true value of the face cards. She knew the true trade, the 9 to shame, the 8 of fate, and the true suit of hearts. Sing to me if the soft sweet kiss of true love. The smell of apples and the taste of rain, winding rivers where fern grow in oak shade, and the stag stares forever, bells over the snow. Children of the blacksmith play by the roaring forge. The seasons sit in the cave of
shouldering my laughter. We are unplaceable here, not found in where, but behind why. Sunset of all yesterday's fiction's tomb. Tiptoeing in flesh along time's inches, down snakes, up ladders, cradled in untenable wombs. We meet in orchestral silences,